Hey, this is Gina Versa, and you're listening to another episode of Serving Up Comics, the last one of this year. Thanks for surviving with us these last 10, 12 months. Hear from everyone. And with me today is, as always, Nick Valero. Nick, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Yeah. What was it? Just finishing out the year as safe and as nerdy as possible, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. Staying home. Hope everyone does. Wear a mask.
Yeah. Basically, the end of the year is going to be just like the rest of the year, where we just stayed at home and did nothing.
Yeah, nothing changed.
Yeah, maybe watch a little bit of TV, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, I have an appropriate background for that.
Just on fire.
Yeah,
Mine's just darkness.
Just darkness. Yeah, we're all living like this introverted life unintentionally, right?
Unintentionally, yeah. You know what? It was
Like
fun.
Shut-ins.
Yeah, it was fun in the beginning, and now
Yeah.
it's like I kind of want to go do stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just scared of people at this point, so I'm like, nah.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Do you know that term? It's in Japan. There's like a cultural thing where they call like people who like stay in, like they're like shut in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's like a term I was trying to think of, but it's okay. Anyway, well, I guess speaking of TV shows, Nick, what have you been watching these last couple weeks since we saw?
So the past couple of weeks, I've been catching up on Star Trek Discovery, which was just really good. Right now they're on their third season, and it's just awesome. It's so good.
And they're in like the far future, like.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it.
No, so it was weird. So the third season, yes, is the very far future. It's almost like 1,000 years into the future. Like, so basically, you're hearing about the adventures of like Spock and Kirk and stuff like that after that.
Right.
But in the very beginning, it was like probably like 30, 40 years. No, it wasn't even 30 years. It was probably like 10, 15 years before the events of the original Star Trek. So so the first two seasons were like that very like intro years, like very like 5-10 years, and then now it's like 1,000 years into the future. So it's like a nice little like, to see where exactly everything's gone.
Interesting, because I have not seen a single episode of Discovery. I've only watched Picard, which if listeners listen to our podcast about that, I didn't quite enjoy. So
did Picard already come out?
It already came out like the beginning of this year.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
It's been a long year, so like,
yeah,
you have an excuse to not see it. But yeah, I didn't like that one as much.
Well, because Picard. No, my bad. No, I'm thinking of something totally different. I'm thinking of what's the name of the first captain of the Enterprise?
Captain Pike.
Captain Pike, because Captain Pike is also getting his own TV show.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a spinoff of Discovery, so it's supposed to take place after season 2 of Discovery ends, and then like Captain Pike's show takes over.
Yeah, well, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I always like Captain Pike. What's his name's performance in the Calvin timeline is one of the better aspects. But yeah, I forgot who's playing Captain Pike in Discovery, but that's interesting.
Yeah, what was it? Their like take on Captain Pike is that he's like kind of like just like a really cool, like he's just
right.
He's just like really cool and stuff like that.
Because ideally, all things considered, for the timelines, he's still the guy that mentors Captain Kirk. So
in a way, yes, he is still technically the one that mentors Captain Kirk, kind of.
Right. Yeah, he comes before Kirk.
Well actually,
Kirk talks about him. Was it City at the Edge of? What's the episode he's in?
Captain Pike is in the first episode, man.
No. The one where he's in the life support.
Oh.
The life support system, like the cage. No, the cage is the pilot. Yeah, I can't pronounce it, but all the Star Trek fans are gonna.
Well, the interesting thing that they did was that they made the Captain Pike episode of Star Trek, the original Star Trek, canon for Discovery.
Oh, the pilot, yeah.
Yeah, they made that pilot that they made with the original actor, and he was playing Captain Pike. they actually they made it canon, and because not a lot of people talk about the episode, they like
Right.
kind of showed flashbacks from the episode, and that was kind of cool because they were referencing it like, oh yeah, this is what happened, you know.
Yeah.
It was really cool to kind of go like, oh, so technically this takes place during the events. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to, you could technically go, it's Discovery, then Pike, then it's going to be the original Star Trek show.
Right.
It's all
Yeah.
in timeline.
I mean, yeah, I don't know the canon of that episode, if it was ever in question. I always assumed it was, but that's cool that they officially just said it.
Yeah, was it well? Because a lot of people go with because the way that Star Trek actually aired back in the day was really
62.
weird. Yeah, was really weird because I guess that wasn't the original pilot.
Right. There was another pilot before that.
Yeah,
So there's like 3 pilots.
yeah, there's like 3 pilots to it, and that was like a test pilot that they had like aired, and then that's why everybody was really confused when Kirk came on board because they were like, wait a minute, Pike was like it was Kirk, then Pike, then Kirk, and then they were like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And then it was just Kirk from then on. So it's really cool. So a lot of people just kind of went, oh, I guess that episode just doesn't count. But now it's like, oh no, it did count. It was just pre-Kirk.
Yeah, the other I mean that would be such a jump, I guess, for like people in the 60s like watching it, like who's this guy? But you know, Kirk's one of at least my favorite captains, so you know, I guess it all worked out.
Yeah, Kirk and Pike, you know, they're really good captains and stuff like that. But yeah, so I started watching Discovery.
I had a random question for you. What's your favorite captain? I don't know if we ever discussed this.
My favorite captain, it'd have to be a tie between Kirk and Picard.
Oh, okay.
Kirk and Picard would probably be like, because I really like that movie also where
Generations?
Was it Generations?
It's Star Trek Generations where they meet and Captain Kirk dies from a bridge.
Yeah, from a bridge falling, and he sacrifices himself for Picard. Yeah, that's
such a like what's that, life alert? It's like a life alert.
Such a life alert thing.
It's like, help, and I can't get up because a bridge is on me.
Yeah, but honestly, that does sound super Star Trek, just because.
Right. Like, well, they reshot that ending because he was supposed to get shot in the back by Malcolm McDowell's character Soren or whatever, but they were like,
and then they were just like, no, that's too brutal.
I don't know. They're like, oh, he can't get shot in the back. He has to die from a bridge. That's not.
I don't know if that's too brutal. I mean,
I like that movie enough that the way it's blocked and like the way they filmed it is really awkward. I hate like how he dies, but the death itself when he's like his last words and like
that's what I really like.
That's actually pretty good, yeah, and like his burial, and the fact like he kind of dies like getting ahead of ourselves, but like he kind of dies like you like. Where like not alone, but like few people like know like what happened to him. Like,
well, because he disappeared, right? Yeah. Like that was the whole thing. Is that like Kirk disappears?
Right, in the Nexus. Yeah, he has an unmarked grave. Yeah, I mean that's interesting for sure. But yeah, yeah, we'd have to have a whole podcast on that one. But
yeah,
I was just going to say, that's why he's my favorite captain, at least, because I would go with him over Kirk, over Picard just by a little bit, because I think people criticize Kirk that he's like takes too many risks, but he takes calculated risks. He doesn't take risks; he takes calculated ones.
Yeah,
and they pay off mostly.
Yeah, that's why I really like Kirk. Kirk does a really good job at
Do they have him in Discovery?
No, he's not.
But just Spock, right?
But Spock it's like a younger Spock, which is really cool because you have like a younger Spock, and then they mention like in the 3rd season of Discovery that like, oh yeah, because it's been like 1,000 years, Spock died. Like, obviously been 1,000 years. And they go over it and they start talking about like, and they basically are giving like this nice like memorial to Leonard Nimoy.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah, like they basically say like this is what Spock did. This is how like Spock this is what happened to Minister Spock and everything else. And that was pretty cool because then it also says like, oh yeah, he spent time, and then they mention Kirk, and then they go straight into like what he did for Vulcan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're just.
because
Oh, sorry.
because the cool thing is that in the show there was like a thing. There was a thing that was going on that like never happened. Where because the Vulcans and the Romulans are technically like ancient ancestors.
Yeah, they share the same bloodline.
Yeah, they
Like
share the same bloodline.
just like caveman and Neanderthals, they just like
Yeah, they
or
split
Homo
it.
sapiens, they
Yeah,
split.
they
Yeah.
split at one point, and like the idea was that I guess in the show they just it was like a idea that they had never had where they were gonna bring them whole again.
Hmm.
And it was really cool because in Discovery they were just like, oh yeah, no, Spock did that. Like Spock
Yeah,
brought the Romulans and the Vulcans together, and now
yeah,
they live on one planet.
it's in unification. I think in the next
Yeah,
generation. Yeah.
so that was really cool. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that they like brought that idea back, and like that was like a big thing for like I know the original Star Trek. So
Yeah. Hey, I have one last question for you on that show.
hmm.
Because I guess this was controversial for some people, and I was kind of like, well, it's less controversial. It just seems kind of weird. Like they drop f bombs on Discovery.
Sometimes,
Like you
yeah.
just said, because they have no rating system, but like, doesn't the scientist guy just say like, oh, that was like fucking awesome or something?
Sometimes, yeah, like sometimes they drop F bombs, but also sometimes I feel that it is just the way people talk.
Yeah.
It's not like you're dropping an F bomb just to drop an F bomb. They're dropping they like sometimes like it's not a Quentin Tarantino movie where like
Right.
F bomb every 20 seconds or anything like that. It's a very rare thing to kind of have an F bomb. But the idea is that it's it's the way people talk. I'm almost positive if they would have if like ratings and like they were allowed to say words like that, I'm pretty sure they
Yeah.
would have said it. Like just because back then they weren't able to say it doesn't mean that they can't. I don't think that's it doesn't take me out of the show or anything like that. It's like, okay, yeah, they said the F bomb. All right, cool, move
Right.
on.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, doesn't take me out of the like. It has like really great stories. It has really great like character development, and like the crew is really dope. So I don't mind it.
Oh, okay.
But Star Trekkies are pretty uptight, just
It's
like Star Wars.
Trekker gets there. They don't like to be
Nah,
called that.
they're Trekkies still.
Yeah. Fandom.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because we all make jokes about the Star Wars fandom, but the Star Trek fandom, that one's even more niche. Like, I don't know how you could describe the fans.
Yeah, they also don't like things.
It's like, yes, they also don't like things. Yeah,
Yeah, like they just don't like things. Like Star Wars fans can get upset a lot. Star Trek fans also get upset.
right. Yeah,
And piss those people off too.
yeah. But yeah. Anything else you're watching or reading, Nick?
Right now, actually, I'm watching more anime, just
Okay.
because there's a lot of it. But
Uh,
yeah, the last thing I actually did read was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ronin comic.
oh, I read the first issue for that. That was
Yeah, that was
I
really
guess,
cool.
yeah. I guess spoilers. Were you expecting because it already came out? It's whatever.
Yeah,
That it was Michelangelo because I felt that was
I
like what
was,
I
huh?
was. I felt like I was like it has to be him.
Yeah, the entire
Yeah.
time I was like, well, this is Mikey.
Yeah.
The best person to make the Ronin like in a writer's room would be Mikey.
Right. Because that's such an unexpected choice, and I think that's such a because we all love Ninja Turtles, we all know their personalities at this point, but that's
Mhm.
such a drastic character arc for him that he goes from like
Well, yeah, because I think
yeah,
Raph would automatically be the obvious choice. Like
right,
if you go like, oh yeah, it's a Ronin after all of the other Ninja Turtles died. Raph would be an obvious choice. Leo would be an obvious choice. Donnie, I don't know,
yeah,
maybe I don't really see that in his character.
yeah,
But Mikey is like a perfect choice.
yeah,
Because if you have like I don't know if they're actually going to do that inside of the comic book, but if they actually do it where it's like, oh yeah, Mikey was goofing off during the last battle. Like there were moments where he could have finished the battle and he was still messing around or he
yeah,
was goofing around and stuff like that. And then because he goofed around or because he was like, not taking it seriously, that's the reason why his brothers ended up dying. That is like a huge like thing of like, whoa, like that's huge. Like, oh my God. So I don't know where they're gonna take it. I really love the idea that he's now a master of all four of their weapons.
Yeah,
Like, it's really cool, but it's gonna be pretty cool.
that's such a neat original idea. That
Mhm.
you basically have like I guess like the Dark Knight Returns for the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it
absolutely.
works because it's like, when they came out, they were very dark and gritty, and it's like throwing it back to their roots, the original black and white Ninja
Yeah,
Turtle
because
comic.
because originally, I mean, there was like blood, there was gore, there was
Decapitations. they kill
decapitations.
they kill the Shredder in like the first issue.
Yeah, yeah,
They
and
like
then like
murder
they just
him.
then they became way more kid friendly later on in
Right.
like the late
They
'80s,
they
early
got
'90s.
very 80s, like radical and cowabunga.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
about
catchphrase.
pizza, which
Reaganomics. They
yeah,
yeah,
economics, man.
yeah, trickle down. It'll trickle down eventually.
Yeah,
All the wealth that's going to trickle down, I swear.
yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, man,
yeah,
it was one of those. But it's such an interesting idea, and I love the way that the first issue ends. Is just like it's a nice little cliffhanger. Spoilers for the first issue. If you guys haven't read it, go read it. Go to your local comic book store. Go buy it. Actually, you know what? Order it and then maybe go pick it up from a window.
right.
I love supporting the local comic book shops, but
Yeah,
right now is not a great idea.
right. Yeah,
See if your local comic book shop will like put it outside for you,
yeah,
or if they're still open.
yeah.
Actually,
Some do Undercity, like our friends at Undercity. I believe they do pick up, so you can do it. Yeah, if you're.
I know that I actually called the guys at Undercity, and then Renee said that he would put it outside for me.
Yeah.
Like he asked me what time I was going to get there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm 5 minutes out." He goes, oh, "Okay, cool. Like I'll put it out. Like tell me when you're like down the street or when you're parking, and I'll just put it outside, and you can come pick it up and stuff
Yeah.
like that." So that was really cool of them. So that way, they can also still keep that social distancing.
Right. Yeah. Just.
Um, but yeah, the way that kind of ends for that comic book is really interesting, and I want everybody to go read it just because it is the first issue and it did just come out this week. I don't know if people got a chance to get their hands on it. Maybe I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, go check it out, man. It has a great cliffhanger. It gets real dark near the end, like really, really dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great comic. Great
Yeah. Big
comic.
big fans of the Ninja Turtles as well, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's good to not read Marvel or DC sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes it's just nice to kind of go like, what are the Ninja Turtles doing? Oh God,
Right.
what happened?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's yeah, I'll definitely recommend that as well because yeah, I did
Mhm.
pick it up. But yeah, in terms of comics, did you read the first issue of Batman Catwoman?
I actually did not.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna read it on my DC app, and then I saw somebody had already read it, and then I was like, well, I don't want to click this yet.
That may or may not be me if you're letting me look at your account.
I was like, somebody already read this. And it was like halfway done. It was like in the middle of the issue because you can see like how much you've read. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna click it yet because I already know I'm gonna go like right in the middle of this, and if it's good, I'm gonna be
Uh-huh.
upset.
Well, I could confirm it's pretty great. It was a month, or excuse me, it was came out this month after a year of delays. I guess maybe it could have been COVID. Who knows?
This is
But
the issue where they finally get married, right?
no, they're not. They're married in the future,
Yeah.
but I don't know. They've never. I think at the end of his Tom King's Batman run, they just kind of got married, but then they were like, "Well, it doesn't matter if we didn't exchange vows." So it's very ambiguous. But I believe
How is
they
that not
they
like an anniversary issue? Like
I don't know.
like come on. How do you not have like a nice like cover art of like Batman and Catwoman on like
Yeah,
taking vows or anything like that in front of Superman who's gonna like initiate the wedding? I have no idea.
yeah. It's very strange comics sometimes.
Like I really do think that I kind of do miss like the 80s and the 90s of comics when they would have like these like dumb comic book issues
Hmm.
where it's just like we're going to do this today.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and like it was like really
Very
like bubbly and
Yeah, there's, if you read like a lot of 50s or like comics of a certain era, there's just weird like Superman turns into a lion or Jimmy Olsen turns into like an ant.
There was
It's
that
just a
was fun.
lot of weird just like they're just throwing stuff at the wall literally, and sometimes it
Yeah,
works and sometimes it doesn't.
well,
But mhm.
for Batman and Catwoman getting married though, I feel like that would be such a long time coming.
Yeah,
Because they have had kids in the past of comics, and yes,
right.
they've gotten married before in the past, but
In other
it's
worlds.
yeah, like in other worlds they've gotten married and they've had kids. That's where you have like Helena Kyle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like their version of the Huntress, and I think on Earth
Yeah, that was
5,
the first version, yeah.
or is that Earth 2? I think that's Earth 2.
Earth 2 is where the first Huntress comes from, yeah.
Yeah, but I think
And they
that's
get
Helena. Is that Helena Kyle or is
that's
that
Helena Wayne, I guess. Yeah,
I don't know if it's Helena Wayne. I actually don't know because I think she took her mom's name.
could be, but
I have no
yeah,
idea.
that's where all the marriage comes from Earth 2.
Yeah, I would really like to see finally, like in Earth 1, he's had sex with everybody, but finally gotten with Catwoman. Like, come on, man. Like
Yeah.
he's like been either with or like he's gotten with, and Catwoman in Earth 1 has like never gotten that. Like, yeah, he locked it down. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like I want to see Bruce. The one thing I really want to see, and I think that would be a great change, is Bruce Wayne happy.
Yes.
I think that that would be an interesting like change of a comic book
Right. Well,
of like just making him a happy dude or
yeah,
a
I think
like
I
fulfilled.
think that Tom King has really been exploring that because um there's been like this picture painted of Batman that he's an unhappy character, but I think he has like a family. He's not like a loner. He has like a son, surrogate sons. I think making him going out and being Batman makes him happy because he's making a difference as much as he can. And I really disagree with,
Arguable.
yeah, more or less, him being an unhappy character. I think in his own way he is happy, yeah, but
Yeah, but
it's not
I
really,
the only thing is that like is the way that most people draw him. I mean, write him or even like portray him on like screen or anything like that is that he is center focused on the mission.
right.
It's all about the mission. Nothing else matters but the
Yeah.
mission. And I really do want to see just like for once a Batman that gives a fuck. Like
Mhm.
just kind of cares about like his about the like yes, he does care about the family. There's
Yeah.
no argue that he doesn't care about like the Bat family or anything like that. But like I would really love just like having an issue where Batman had a family dinner, like an
Mhm.
awkward family dinner where he's like trying to be a better dad to these surrogate kids that he's kind of been a dick to. And
Yeah, yeah. I think there's probably some sort of story like he's just like Batman just kind of like being there in terms of like uh you know perennial sort of non-crime fighting sort of needs.
yeah, give me some Batman that's just like he's just trying to be a regular dad, and like
Yeah,
he's trying to fit like
struggling.
like he's struggling to like make everything okay again, and like like because a lot of the Bat family hates him right now just because he lies a lot and he keeps shit from them or they do anything else. They disagree a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think it'd be so interesting if like Batman tried to like go, you know what, I'm gonna host a family dinner.
Hmm.
And it's like,
Thanksgiving in the Batcave.
yeah, like he's trying to host Thanksgiving or he's trying to do anything
Yeah.
else. And I think that would just be so funny of just like Selena Kyle like making a turkey and
Hmm.
like trying to do these like different things. And it's like, and I think it would be really funny if like Dick, Damien, all of them are just like, all right, so like somebody put him under a spell.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like
because I think
there has to be magic involved, or maybe poison ivy
right.
put him under something again.
Because I think like Dick Grayson's probably the most normal of all the Bat family, more or
Yeah,
less.
he's the less sociopathic one. Yes.
Right. But yeah, no, I think yeah, he definitely got a story there. We got to pitch that to
Yeah,
DCEU.
that would be
But
a fun holiday episode of just like
yeah,
Batman trying to be a good dad,
right.
and
Well,
and
this
that could build on something.
definitely, yeah. Well, this comic, it's the first issue's on Christmas, so it really fits the time. But it also has Phantasm. And again, you haven't read the first issue, but like, what do you think of seeing that DC animated character in comics?
I
in
always love
canon?
see animated characters in comics. They're
Huh?
amazing. Excuse me. I always love
Right.
seeing DC animated characters in comics. They're awesome.
Yeah, because
So
that's
cool.
such a gold mine of. There are a lot of great original characters in those like 90s and 2000 shows.
Yeah, not only that, but also the entire backstory for Mr.
I,
Freeze is all
yeah,
taken from Bruce Timm and
yeah,
Paul
they
Dini's.
borrowed that from that.
Yeah, like after their take, it kind of became like the now like yeah, that's his backstory. Like that's
Mhm.
Mr. Freeze's backstory now, and stuff like that. Like not until then did you have like because they really dived into a lot of different characters
Right.
and everything else. I think the only one that they didn't really dive in as much as I would really hope is like Penguin or like Enigma and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like those
yeah.
are kind of like
I think
two-dimensional, like I'm a villain.
yeah. Some animated the Batman the animated series characters did get kind of the short end of the stick.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
my favorite, and I always hope he comes back in like a movie. And because honestly, really wanted it in the Justice League movie of on the roof, the guy that Batman is chasing. I wanted him to be Condiment King because
Condiment.
why not?
You
Why not?
you've mentioned Condiment King so many times, but
I want Condiment King in everything.
he's oh god.
He's one of
Yeah,
the dumbest villains. He's
I'd
one of the
rather have like
dumbest
Kite Man or
villains.
something. I'd rather
No,
have Kite.
but Kite Man's already gotten his debut in Harley Quinn. I want to see more Condiment King.
Yeah.
I love the
Maybe.
idea that Kite Man and Condiment King are arch nemesis. Like they're the two
Oh
useless
yeah, that
villains.
was great. That was like a great gag because like Kite Man, yeah, he's just like he doesn't get any respect and
He gets no respect, and his arch nemesis is Condiment King.
yeah.
But I really just want to. I feel like Condiment King in like a live action or even in like a comic book would be amazing. I mean, it would just be amazing because people would go, "Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, why is Batman wasting his time?"
Or why is his name like Charlie Brown?
Yeah, like, why is Batman wasting his time on this guy?
Yeah.
Like do something else. But I would have loved that if like in the Justice League movie, I needed bait for a parademon. Condiment King's free. Like,
Yeah.
why not make him a Batman villain? Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Why
But,
make him Nameless Thug number 4?
yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll see him like in the Batman whenever that comes out.
You think that serious ass movie is gonna put fucking Condiment King?
I don't know, but
That would be insane.
um,
If that movie put Condiment King, it officially jumped the shark.
but but I love I love what they did with the Phantasm in this first issue. That's such a cool character, and I'm glad to see that getting the canonization it deserves. And I just love the design of that costume because it's based on there's a character called the Reaper, but it's not.
Mhm.
It's not really. It's kind of based on that, but not really. But I just love how the Phantasm moves with in the movie. That's like one of the best.
That mist, like the fog
Yeah,
movement.
it's one of the best Batman films, and I can't recommend that movie enough. And it's kind of Christmassy in a way. It's like the ghost of Christmas future, or whatever.
I really love I love the idea of using the Phantasm in anything. I know that in Batman Beyond they used the Phantasm to explain
that's
Terry McGinnis's background story
mhm.
and stuff like that.
She was gonna kill his parents to recreate the Wayne's murder. This was created by Project Cadmus, but they backed out.
Mm-hmm. And then it just so happened that he happened to his dad ended up dying anyway, and like fate, like no matter what, we're gonna become Batman.
Great additions by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm.
Mm-hmm. And I love the idea of having Amanda Waller, and she's an actual person. She's just not.
Yeah, because I think like Waller has like a lot of interior to her that makes her makes her more nuanced than what we've seen in. Well, I guess I hope in the Suicide Squad we get kind of that. I'm sure.
Where she actually cares, and they're just not like enemies that she just sends to die.
Right. I mean, I don't know about cares, but has like more multi dimensions to her.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked it when she was in charge of Cadmus. Like, I
Right.
always loved the idea that she goes from uber radical who, like, doesn't, who thinks one way, and then once seeing the facts and seeing the good that superheroes are doing, changes sides and ends up becoming like friends of the Justice League.
Hmm.
Trying to get other people to see what she's seen in them, and that they're not evil or anything like that. They actually are trying to do what's best for.
Yeah. I guess that reminds me. I mean, in terms of other comics I've been reading, I've been going back to a lot of like 80s and 90s comics on the DC
Mhm.
Universe app. And I've been reading the original John Ostender's Suicide Squad, which is really well written. Like for an 80s comic, it has like a lot of complexity to it. I'd recommend that. Nick, have you read that by any chance?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
No,
okay. You
I've
got that
never
one?
gotten into the Suicide Squad comics.
Right. Because, yeah, that's what James Gunn said he was basing his script on. So,
That's kind of cool. I mean,
yeah.
for this new Suicide Squad movie, I have full faith in it. I have a feeling it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's coming off, something that's kind of down in the dumps for
I
sure.
have no idea where the canon is of these DC movies.
Uh,
I have no idea. Like, I'm
I
so
think a lot of it happened. Well, I don't know. We'll see with the Snyder Cut, but all the movies happened. Just they don't want to talk about certain films anymore.
yeah, like they're just
And
like BVS. What BVS?
yeah, it happened, but they're not going to mention it too much. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
I mean, because like they're still pumping out these movies. They're pumping out. I
Yeah,
think Aquaman 2 is still
still in
greenlit.
development.
Wonder Woman 3 they already
Yeah,
announced
just yesterday,
they're working on it yesterday. The
as of this
Flash is
recording.
Yeah, the Flash is gonna be is already gonna be greenlit and everything else.
Yeah, took them long enough.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah,
the Flash movie was supposed to come out like 2-3 years ago.
who knows?
All right. Who knows when that movie will finally come? Hey, man, I'm just hoping that because they have Michael Keaton, that it's gonna go a little faster now. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. Kind of looking forward to that. But I guess that leads into the next topic. We'll just start. Wonder Woman came out Christmas Day in this world of COVID, and like this is the only other comic book movie besides Birds of Prey in this DC universe to come out this year. Wonder Woman 84,
yeah, Warner Brothers
and
was the only one to release like hero movies this year.
yeah, it's been because like Marvel, there's so many that the break was appreciated, but for like all the DC ones, at least within the last like 2 or 3 years, from like Aquaman onwards, they felt like so unique and like in their own
Mhm.
pantheon of it's not it doesn't feel like as not assembly line like Marvel, but as like you feel like a little overwhelmed. For DC movies, they feel different enough that you don't have that fan complaints. And I
Mhm.
guess this was a strength and for some like a criticism of 84. So I guess let's talk about it because I'm always glad to see the DC movies.
I'm always glad to kind of see where the DC movies kind of take themselves.
Hmm.
Wonder Woman 84, I thought was it's a fun ride back to a campier era
Right.
of like superhero movies. Because there was a lot of things in this movie that were just like where you were like, wow, that's campy as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Like that the second opening scene because there were like two
yeah,
two like prologues to this movie, in the mall.
that was
Um,
that was so campy. I was
it
like,
was
what is going on? I go, okay, well, if this is
yeah.
how the movie is the whole time, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, well, first I'll say I think it was homaging the Linda Carter Wonder Woman
Hmm.
for sure. Like, if you're watching a movie where a character has an invisible jet, and you're like, your main criticism is like it's too campy. It's like, you gotta find another movie.
You came to the wrong movie, dude. Came to the
Yeah,
wrong
last one. But all these elements work. Like the invisible jet works in this film. That
movie.
was great to see. But yeah, I think the tone of this took such a 180 from the first one. It wasn't a bad thing, but it was like a whiplash effect because the first one's very grim and gritty. It's in World War One, and then we go to the 80s. That's a big fucking jump.
And then there's also an implication that she was in World War II.
Right? Yeah.
Like she fought in World War II because you see images of her walking Holocaust victims out of Auschwitz.
Right.
And you're just like, wait, what? Why
Yeah.
aren't we seeing that movie?
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of untold history of Wonder Woman. But just like the '80s, I think it worked, and like the message they were, because it had like this anti-consumerism, like monkey's paw, like be careful what you wish for themes going on, and that worked pretty well. I think it serviced the movie well enough. It was very clear in its message. There were, it just felt like a little bogged down at times, like. Just like the tone shifts a lot in the movie. It goes from really lighthearted, kind of like Wonder Woman '80s TV show, to friggin', like nuclear war, pessimism of
Yeah, it really what it felt.
Watchmen-esque.
Yeah, what it felt like for a while is that it was the Linda Carter TV show like theme, and then the first Wonder Woman movie, and they were battling each other out for whoever was going to be dominant in this movie. Because if it was just like a campy Wonder Woman movie, totally down. I'm okay with that. If it's just strictly, we're going to be serious, there's going to be some light. That's the one thing I do feel that is kind of bad about the DC movies, is that there's never really this like nice little like balance in between. I'm going to be lighthearted, but there's also some serious things that are going on in the movie as well. And a lot of the times they don't know how to, differentiate. It's like, oh no, it has to be silly. If it's going to be silly, it's going to be silly the whole way. Oh, if it's going to be serious, it's got to be serious the whole way through.
I think probably Aquaman does that one the best, where it carries the tone like pretty well, because I felt like that, because I think like Shazam compared to like something to Man of Steel is such totally
huge differences.
Yeah, but I at least appreciate they're not walking back from the grim and grittiness and like the seriousness of BVS, but they're getting like a little more nuanced in how they approach these films. But it's it's not quite there yet. But
honestly, I do feel that once again, this is another movie that the thing that bogs it down, I do feel, I'm thinking might be studio.
Yeah, probably.
Because some jokes feel weird, where it's just like
which ones?
What is it? Like, okay, the whole joke about like the clothes he's wearing.
Like, he's wearing like a fanny pack.
Like he's wearing a fanny pack.
All right.
And I get it. I get it. Yeah. They're doing a throwback to the original Wonder Woman, where she's doing that entire like fashion, like she's putting on clothes of the era, and she's like, oh yeah, like how do I fight in this and everything like that, and that's funny. Yeah. It's like a fish out of water. It's the
other side of the foot. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's now it's on the other shoe.
Now it's Steve. That's like, and I actually like that though, because it's like, you take a guy from like the 1910s and like he's wearing clothes that he thinks would work, like, he's like a soldier, so like of course he thinks like a fanny pack does.
He's functional. He's
like you put all his like army stuff in there. Yeah, of course he likes the fanny.
He's like, look how many pockets I have. Look at all the stuff I can put in.
Yeah, I liked a lot of the Chris Pine humor, who's the best Chris, by the way.
Yes, honestly, I feel, but that's the thing though, is I feel that Chris Pine carries the humor.
Yeah.
And that's everything Steve, like that. Yeah, I do feel that not that they misuse Kristen Wiig, because Kristen Wiig was really good.
Yeah, like, one of the better parts.
Yeah, I like Kristen Wiig, and I think that she did an amazing job as Cheetah.
I'll just throw that out there. Just I love Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. I think like some people are making jokes where it was like they were simping for Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, where it's like she could snap my neck.
Yeah. Honestly,
she's great.
She was really good as Cheetah. I really, really liked her as Cheetah.
The only thing I was kind of like, it's not a criticism so much as like, that's a little strange, where I don't know if you saw, there was a post that went viral where it's like someone needs to change up the production design in the comic book movies, where you have a villain that starts as nerdy, like you've seen with Electro, Jim Carrey's Riddler, God, there's so many.
There's a lot of like nerdy to evil.
Yeah, Killian from Iron Man 3. Like they start as nerdy and then they turn villainous, and then they're all like hot and buff, and they take out like all the glasses and like bad hair. I'm like, you need to stop doing that for all these comic book movies.
I feel like Cheetah didn't. That was like but I feel like that's my only gripe with Cheetah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very superficial thing. Like it doesn't take away from the character, but it was just kind of noticeable for sure.
But if I know my DC history, wasn't she a bioscientist?
I believe, yeah,
Who was
she is
experimenting with genetics
in some continuities. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she accidentally, she wasn't getting FDA approval, so she started testing it on herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ended up becoming Cheetah. She ended up, like, transforming into like a cheetah-like character. And then to fund her research, she started robbing banks.
Right.
And that's how Wonder Woman kind of got involved. And then because she was also, I think, also like an archaeologist, where like she was also fighting some of this stuff.
In some continuities, it just really depends on like what's iteration of the character.
But I really do feel that like she didn't need to be a nerd. She really didn't. Like she could have just been like a regular person that, you know.
Right. What I think, like, power. Yeah, I mean, like the message that they were trying to get across of like how women are treated in like the workplace and like how like a lot of women are looked over. You know, you didn't have to exaggerate that because that happens to like just a lot of women. They don't have to look a certain way. It's just such a universal sort of thing. They didn't have to make her like exaggerate in like how they dress the character.
Yeah, not only that, but also I wouldn't have minded of actually having Cheetah earlier on. Like if that would have been her first wish, if she would have just said, "I want to be as powerful as, you know, like I want to be as strong as as strong and as fast as the greatest animals in the world."
Mm-hmm. Apex predator.
Like I wanted to be like an apex predator and stuff like that. They
just like a werewolf transformation.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like Cheetah is kind of misused.
A little bit.
Because I feel like Maxwell Lord is a cool villain.
Yes.
But I really wanted to see what Cheetah was going to do.
Yeah, I wanted more Cheetah because I really like Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. I guess we'll talk about Maxwell Lord in a second, but I loved how they made that character more sympathetic and dimensional because in the comics he's a telepath and he's also just so irredeemable in the comics. Like if you've never read it, like in one of the crossovers, like Wonder Woman snaps his neck because he's mind controlling Superman. Like she has that Man of Steel choice, and she snaps his neck because he's not going to change. So the fact that they took that and they made him like such a like commentary on like 80s like consumerism and greed, and they gave him like a sympathetic arc. That's pretty cool. I like the changes they made to Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, that was a really great change. Also, Pedro Pascal's performance is just really good.
He's great. He's the Mandalorian. He's Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, I mean he had like 2 back-to-back things on different fucking like streaming services where he was just like, pay me money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was gonna say 3. He's in the Robert Rodriguez We Can Be Heroes.
Was he really?
Yeah, the Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel, quote unquote.
Wait, is that out already?
It's out. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
what is it on?
Netflix.
All right, maybe I might watch that after this. But
there you go. Yeah.
Wait, is he Lava Boy?
No, he's just like he's the parent of one of the superheroes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's still awesome. Is this also the crossover with Spy Kids?
No, it's in that fictional superhero world.
Because I know that for a while there he was contemplating a Shark Boy, Lava Girl, and Spy Kids crossover.
No, from what I know, they don't cross over.
I don't know. He needs to make another Spy Kids movie.
Yeah, he made one more, but that wasn't that great.
No, that one's trash with Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba and Joel McHale.
Yeah, we don't need that one. No, that one didn't happen. That one didn't happen.
No, it didn't. But not Kristen Wiig, she's great. Great as Cheetah. We just needed some.
I wanted more.
Yeah, you wanted more, and then like if they used her in like less of a like I don't know, less of a way that was like minimizing her.
Stereotypical.
Yeah, stereotypical. Yeah.
No, but but that's once again, I just wanted to see more of Kristen Wiig, and I wanted to see more of Cheetah because honestly, when she was actually, what it felt like to me was that they were trying to go. They went, all right, guys, we got to cut the CGI budget.
Yeah.
We can only have Kristen Wiig inside of the actual Cheetah outfit for like 10 minutes tops.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. You guys got 10 minutes of her in the Cheetah outfit. Pick it right, like pick a good one, and everything else. And honestly, because my big thing is that I really do hope that more companies start doing the what is it called, the actual practical effects mixed with digital effects more, instead of just doing
integration of visual effects and practical.
Like if you watched The Mandalorian a couple of weeks ago, the Dark Troopers were just that. It was people in suits combined with digital effects. And I think that because for one, it's a little cheaper than just doing we're just going to do digital effects all the way around, but also I feel like it looks better too. And honestly, her cheetah was cool. Once again, I just didn't see enough of it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it just felt like if you're going to use that character, why not just go all out? You know?
Yeah. Not only that, but also I felt like, oh yeah, they're using Cheetah in the dark. Any special effects issues that may have been there. Like it's an easy way to there wasn't this is a little off, but because it's so dark and because the palette's so dark, like that.
That was like definitely a disservice.
Because I wanted to see Cheetah in the daylight. Like I wanted to see her hauling ass down a field, chasing after people. That would have been cool. I would have been oh damn.
I mean some of it again budget, but that's such a comic booky character where a woman becomes a literal fucking cheetah.
Yeah.
That you might as well go all out, but it was serviceable. It was good enough, you know.
Because I would have liked it more, seeing as Kristen Wiig's character is actually very intelligent. She's the first couple of lines in the movie is just I have this degree, this degree, this degree, this degree, and stuff like that. And I think that would have been interesting if Maxwell Lord would have been being used by Cheetah.
Yeah.
Instead of Cheetah being used by Maxwell Lord.
Yeah.
Just because it kind of makes her seem like a dumb character.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't make her like a henchman character for sure. She kind of came off that way actually a little bit, but yeah. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, especially near the end. And then also I kind of don't feel like she redeems herself in a way.
No, yeah. I mean, she was just kind of she has such a irredeemable sort of arc. She didn't want to go back and she didn't renounce her wish. She got it renounced for her. But she wanted to stay a cheetah.
Yeah, she wanted to stay a cheetah. And I think that would be interesting in future iterations, or you can even do it in later on movies of she ended up finding out how to do it via DNA.
Yeah,
and that would be kind of cool. That's what's kept her alive all these years and stuff like that. And maybe you could put her down the line. Yeah,
but did you so in terms of Maxwell Lord and the plot and sort of this the way he's he's such a an 80s villain. Of course he's after oil. Everyone was after oil. All the super villains of the 80s.
Honestly,
all the Russians, Ronald Reagans.
I was also really surprised that it wasn't a real estate scheme.
I was going to say, so it's land, Lex Luthor. I was going to say, apparently he said in interviews he was very much inspired by Lex Luthor from
Superman,
the Christopher Reeve one. So
that makes sense.
Hackman's, Luthor is
Hackman's Luthor.
I would say, I don't know if Hackman's Luthor is inspired by any comics, but it's just Gene Hackman his own unique caricature of Lex Luthor. He has no source material.
Yeah, I feel like Gene Hackman had a comic book read to him once.
Yeah, he's this fucking nerdy shit. I don't need it.
Gene Hackman had somebody read it to him once, and he was just oh, so it's ham as hell. Just ham the fuck up. But yeah,
he's hey, pull up your pants. No, get out of here. Give me some fucking bourbon.
Yeah, but honestly, Gene Hackman's Superman is it's really good. It is really good, though.
It's good in its own unique way. Is it accurate to the comics? No.
No.
He loves, Lex Luthor, I don't think he would be afraid of his boldness. He embraces it.
Yeah.
But that, you know, it's so like unique to that actor in that era. It's like, you know, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, it works. That's
works.
Reeves' that's Reeves'
and yeah, and that's why I felt like Pedro Pascal, like his Maxwell Lord works.
I really did like that, and I like the idea. I like the idea that also Maxwell Lord didn't die in the end.
Right.
He actually, you know, this is a villain that they can bring back later.
Yeah.
Or honestly, I was
right, because he doesn't start off in the comics as evil. He's kind of, you know, in the Keith Giffen Justice League International, like he's sponsoring the Justice League.
Yeah,
they make him evil later.
Yeah, like he's always trying to do good things that leads him down to I can make a profit from this.
Yeah, exactly. He's very 80s, like whatever screenwriter chose him as a villain for an 80s movie is just, that was perfect.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if Maxwell Lord would fit in like a movie that was put in like the 2000s.
Well, yeah, and so in George Miller's Justice League Mortal,
he was going to be
going to be the main villain, was Maxwell Lord, played by Jay Bushnell from This Is the End.
Honestly, I really want to see how that was. I
would actually, yeah, because Jay Bushnell is like a villain. I don't know if that would be like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor or like a good version of that, but it would have been something.
I mean, could you imagine him and then like him getting yelled at by Common as Green Lantern?
Yeah. It's Arnie Hammer as Batman? The guy that played, wasn't it like the guy that was Jesus in the Passion of the Christ?
He was going to be Superman.
As Superman.
Yeah, he was going to be Superman.
Fucking Charisma Carpenter as Wonder Woman. The guy who passed away recently, the actor who was Morton Joe as Martian Manhunter.
Yes.
Adam Brody as the Flash, and Common as Green Lantern, the Jon Stewart one.
Mm-hmm.
What a interesting cast that was.
And then Zoe Kazan as Iris Allen.
Yeah, that would have been.
Teresa Palmer as Talia al Ghul.
Talia.
Santiago Cabrera as Arthur Curry / Aquaman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Aquaman.
That would have been really funny.
I read the script for that.
It's actually not bad.
It's not too bad. I don't know if it would have been good, but it's not that bad as a script.
I think I want to watch it just because I hear just based off a couple of interviews that they've all done of like, this is what I've read and this is what the idea was and this is what I saw from that was what was it? I know that they were going to say like, oh yeah, like the way that Barry keeps on referring to the Speed Force or when he's running is basically just everybody like statues.
Yeah.
And then it was,
that would have been interesting.
Yeah. Like when I run, it's like running through a field of statues. Like no one is moving. And I'm afraid that one day I'll never be able to come out of it.
Yeah. All the Barry stuff is awesome. The other characters kind of vary in how they're written. Like Batman does the neck snap, and it's like, God damn it! Like,
Armie Hammer is a weird choice for Batman.
Yeah.
Also, that Batman was written really weird.
It was weird. It was like kind of like a psycho Batman.
Yeah, he was written like what's his name? What is it? The Dark Knight Returns Batman, but if like he had a split personality. Yeah,
it's George Miller. Like, I think he understood the comics enough, but. It's like, come on, you need to revise that a little bit.
Well, but the thing is that because what I've noticed is and what I've read is that a lot of people have said the script online is like the third or fourth draft.
Is it? Okay, so that's what we've read, but yeah, I'm sure they would have done more redrafts for sure.
Well, because apparently, according to Armie Hammer, some of that stuff wasn't in the first draft. That's why he signed on.
Okay.
Because that's what got him to sign on.
Yeah, that movie would have been interesting because I wish there was like a Death and Return of Superman Lives documentary on just Justice League Mortal.
They were working on it.
Yeah, that would have been that to get like the official story, because that movie is just like, that's up there with like Spider-Man 4, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 of like mythical movies that never got made.
Yeah, actually, I think we did an interview with them
with John Snow.
with John Snepp before he passed away, and he actually did another interview with Kevin Smith maybe a couple of months later, and he had said that he was actually doing he was going through a pilot. He was
Oh, that's
what was
right.
it? He was
It's
doing
like
a
a TV
pilot.
series.
It was going to be a DV series of how to like kind of like what happened to this movie.
Yeah, that would
And
have been really cool. That's a shame that he
and they would have been
passed
like
away.
they would have been like hour-long
Right.
documentaries of like this is what happened to these movies and stuff
Yeah,
like that that never got made, and
that
then they
would
were
have
gonna
been
like
cool.
they were gonna get interviews and stuff like that. Unfortunately, John Schnepp passed away before
Right.
like all that stuff was finished and before it was finalized and everything like that. But hopefully somebody else could,
Yeah,
bring it back.
I hope so. Carry on his spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he would have liked One Ruin in '84.
Oh,
Um,
you loved it.
yeah,
But that was the thing though, is that I feel the only reason I had my like I had some aspiration. I mean, I really liked Wonder Woman '84. I just feel like the campiness at times kind of pulled me out because there was this like really serious moment and then right
yeah.
afterwards was like a campy moment, and I was kind of like, all right, there wasn't exactly the time for it. Like, okay,
Yeah, it was really like messing with like it was a clash of like tones essentially. I think.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I feel but I feel like that's the problem with most DC
yeah,
is that there's a clash of tones. It's not one solid vision across the board. It's somebody had a solid vision and then they showed it to the studio and the studio goes, you need to make it funnier.
right. Yeah, Warner Brothers is very notorious. I guess it's not the studio you would think of, like executives just meddling, but apparently, from what I heard, it is. Like it's just
Yeah, apparently they met
executives
a
at
lot.
this high level, just from the bottom down, just meddling with shit that they
See, but
shouldn't
that
be meddling with.
but that's the thing though, is that I like Jeff Johns. I
Oh,
know was supposed to be like this, like he was supposed to be like the Kevin Feige of DC,
yeah,
which
he,
I feel was just a poor choice.
yeah, because he's, I think with Jeff Johns, he did work with Richard Donner, but he's not so much a movie guy like Kevin Feige, who worked on like
He worked on
X-Men.
X-Men.
Yeah, he worked X-Men, Spider-Man, all
Mm-hmm.
the original Marvel movies. Like Jeff Johns, it's a little less limited than that. And then
Yeah,
according to, that he's not so great a guy in terms of producing.
yeah.
Uh,
Apparently he's a dick.
yeah, yeah, it's such a shame that they went in that direction when I'm sure there were probably some other figures that were prominent that could have led them to success more.
To be totally honest, if I was going to choose anybody that was going to be like a cool showrunner for DC, Paul Dini.
Paul Dini, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Because it's like, well, I mean, yeah, Paul Dini has, in terms of in the industry, he's been around in animation and the studio system for a while. I think, yeah, he would have been a better choice.
Well, not only that, but also he's
He's a
somebody
great one.
who definitely knows how to.
Understands these characters.
He understands the characters, but also he knows how to get like a specific tone out of those
Yeah,
characters.
exactly.
Like, and I think you can see that in all of his episodes of pretty much any animated thing that he's done,
Mm-hmm.
where it's just like, oh yeah, like he knows how to get the humor out of it. He knows how to get the what was it? He knows how to get like these serious tones. He knows how to battle like tough issues
Mm-hmm.
inside of his things, and I think that would have been kind of like a really cool
Yeah,
idea.
that would have been
And,
a good choice.
yeah, and especially for somebody who already kind of played with these characters in his own sandbox
Yeah, in
of
his own universe. It was like
in his own
the
universe.
first connected universe. Yeah, or one of them.
Yeah, in his own connected universe, he's already played with them before. He's already
Yeah,
kind of played with these little toys. Why not let him do it in the big movies?
I don't know.
Have him be the head. Honestly, I say the same thing for Star Wars. Let Dave Filoni do it. I know
Yeah,
I know he's an
he's gotten
animated guy.
better. He's gotten better as a director. I love the Jedi. That chapter was my favorite
Yeah,
of the Mandalorian. So
Mandalorian.
yeah,
I think that one was actually, I think it's also one of the cleaner ones too.
yeah,
That was one of the cleaner episodes, and it was it's one of my favorite samurai movies.
yeah. It pretty much was a giant Kurosawa movie for sure.
It's like a 30-minute Kurosawa movie where he just like went like, this is what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. But just kind of winding down on this review. Again in California where we're at, we're in such a 0% capacity for hospitals that many movie theaters are shut down. We only have drive-ins. And we kind of watched this in our homes on Christmas. Did you do anything to kind of make your theater home viewing experience like unique or like just like you were at the movies?
I turned off all the lights,
Okay.
watched it on a big screen, and then I laid down on a couch.
So it was like you were at an AMC with the couch seats.
Kind of, yeah, because I can't lay sideways.
You just needed some people talking to your right, but not too loud, but loud enough to hear them.
It's cool. I had my dad. It's fine.
Oh, oh man, your dad who talked during the was it what Game of Thrones episode? It was like the battle of
I think it was the Battle of the Bastards.
No, it was the Winterfell where the White Walkers were invading. He talked all throughout.
Yeah, he like talked through the whole just
the whole episode. He talked through.
We're like, oh my god, dude! Like, let us just finish. Let's just finish the episode.
Like if you talked during the finale of Game of Thrones, that would have been fine. But like the actual good episode of that season.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so once again, I had him watching the movie and everything else. But for the most part, yeah. I mean, I really liked watching it on HBO Go. Yeah. I mean, on HBO now. Or Max, whatever. They've had 3 names in 4
right.
years.
Well, I think HBO Go technically was another app and it got discontinued. So HBO Max is.
No, it was. Yeah, it was HBO Go, then HBO Now, then it was HBO Max.
I was going to say, aren't they lucky that they had Wonder Woman? Because, like, that streaming service, they've, like, when they started out, they had such a rocky start. It wasn't available on certain devices. Roku wasn't on. Like, how do you launch an app, it's only available on, like, certain device?
I mean, also, it was only not available on Roku. I mean, how many people have a Roku?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it played on my PlayStation. I'm glad.
Just put it on your PlayStation, your Xbox, or your Apple TV. I mean, that's what most people have.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I think it's really smart that they started putting also the DC Universe stuff.
Yeah.
On it,
that's
like
really
those TV shows. The main reason I was using HBO Max was to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for like a week.
Has some good series on there,
Yeah, I mean, also, but that's the thing though, is that HBO Max has like it's like a weird catalog of stuff that you can watch. Go on it and check it out. I honestly just like flip through a couple of the shows. Honestly, you'll find some stuff that you were like, really? Why do they have this? But I'm really happy that all the DC shows are over there. The only one I'm kind of disappointed that's not going to be on there is Stargirl. Stargirl's now moving to CW, and that's going to be really interesting.
It's so weird. One company has like 3 apps that they're just like moving and like consolidating stuff too.
Yeah,
weird.
I also never understood why CW doesn't just put all of their stuff on the HBO Max.
I have no idea like how these contracts work for streaming.
Yeah, well, because it's like their network stream, and I think that's the thing that's really interesting. And
it's strange.
Well, I mean, honestly, if it was me, I would just stop using that and start using HBO Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Send everybody over there instead of just Netflix.
But hey, we're enjoying our subscriptions, I guess, right now.
Yeah.
But any last few thoughts on Wonder Woman?
Definitely go watch it.
Yes. Yeah, in like a year without any movie releases or hardly any big blockbuster movies, at least we got something this year.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Tenet and I was like, what the fuck? I need something else.
Yeah, I watched that twice and I got it enough the second time to kind of enjoy it, but yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I watched it. When we watched Tenet the first time, I was watching it with my brother, and I turned to him and I was like, "So how'd you like it?" And he goes, "Kind of felt like this movie was up Christopher Nolan's ass." That's what I felt.
Yeah, it's a very dense movie. It's a movie that, for better or worse, you have to watch and then
2 to 3 times.
3 times and then like read Reddit a Reddit thread on it and then go back and watch it.
I thought it was a movie you had to watch twice, and on the third time have a whiteboard with like 4 other people.
Yeah.
And then pause every so often to go, okay, so that's there. Where on the timeline is it?
Yeah, exactly.
So if he went here, then that means he's over here, but that means he's over there.
That's like
that was
that was not a good movie to release this year.
No, that was not the movie that was going to save theaters.
Right.
That was not.
Yeah, that was a thing on itself. But Wonder Woman, I think it's a very enjoyable film.
Go check it out.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but hey, in a year of like fucking COVID, it's good enough.
Yeah, honestly, for the DC movies of this year, Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman, they were both really good. Go give them a chance. Give them a chance. They're great movies to turn off your brain. Just watch some really cool stuff. Enjoy the. Don't go into the movie with your own kind of ideas for how you think the movie is. Just go open-minded and enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess with that, we'll end our show. Nick, where can people find you at?
Like always, people can find me here. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram, the Nick Valero.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, G9892. Please follow The Waffle Press on Twitter at The Waffle Press, on Instagram at The Waffle Press Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes. If there's something you like, or even if you don't like, just subscribe anyway. Maybe you will. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We've been professionally unprofessional. And the year's over, thank God.
Yeah.